One day last week, with her team, the Connecticut Sun, in a first-round playoff series against WNBA star Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever, guard Dejounte Carrington was surrounded by a group of reporters. Carrington had swatted Clark in the face while reaching for the ball in the previous game, leaving her with a black eye. The exchange came at a thrilling but tense moment for the league, which has long been powered by women of color but has seen its recent success largely attributed to Clark. The attention on the league has never been greater, but players during the series were subject to upticks in online harassment, and security was added at Connecticut's home arena. It was with this backdrop that the questions didn't sit well in the Connecticut locker room, and a few minutes later, the Sun's DeWanna Bonner confronted Brennan. Brennan repeatedly tried to introduce herself and explain what she said as Bonner implored the columnist to treat her teammates like humans. After nearly 2 minutes of mostly talking past each other, Bonner returned to the locker room. Brennan confirmed the confrontation to the Washington Post. Brennan, who is working on a book about Clark and routinely appears on TV, approached the other reporters and remarked that something like that wouldn't happen in the NFL. She asked why the WNBA was so sensitive and told multiple reporters that if anyone had questions about her awareness of the racial dynamics at play, they should read her coverage of former NFL quarterback and activist Colin Kaepernick, among other work stretching back decades. Brennan is white, Carrington is black. To unprofessional members of the media like Christine Brennan, you are not fooling anyone. That so-called interview in the name of journalism was a blatant attempt to bait a professional athlete into participating into a narrative that is false and designed to fuel racist, homophobic, and misogynistic vitriol on social media. You cannot hide behind your tenure, the statement read. It added, you have abused your privileges and do not deserve the credentials issued to you. Brennan, in an interview, called her questions Journalism 101. Other journalists, including her boss at USA Today, agreed. We reject the notion that the interview perpetuated any narrative other than to get the player's perspective directly, USA Today executive sports editor Roxana Scott said in a statement. But the saga has nonetheless become a major storyline of the WNBA playoffs, at a time when Clark's enduring stardom and the league's unprecedented growth are testing the league's relationship with the media. When I saw the video of the questions to Carrington, my heart dropped, Terry Jackson, the executive director of the Players Union, said in an interview. I was so upset because we already have people looking to attack these players. We're talking about being safe at work. A WNBA spokesman did not reply to a request for comment. Neither did Scott. Brennan said her upcoming book, On Her Game, Caitlin Clark and the Revolution in Women's Sports, is unauthorized, and that she has not done a sit-down interview with Clark. It's expected to be published next season. Its scope goes beyond Clark, but she is its driving force. Clark helped the league secure a huge increase in its new broadcast deals, and her games have set attendance records and driven TV rating spikes. Fox Sports executive Mike Mulvihill posted on social media recently that the audience for Clark's national TV games during the regular season averaged 1.178 million but was 394,000 for all others. Still, some reporters and league stakeholders have bristled at what they see as the narrowness of Brennan's coverage, which is focused almost exclusively on Clark. Reporters pointed to an April column in which Brennan asked why players are frosty toward Clark. And she was deeply critical in stories, on TV and on social media about Clark being left off the U.S. Olympic team. Brennan said she did not write the headline and agreed it was misleading. She said the column itself highlighted the lack of media attention and VIPs at the game, adding, the whole point of saying Caitlin Clark should have been on the team was to bring eyeballs that this team so deserves that it just never gets. Her coverage has gone way beyond what is normal, said Gregory Lee Jr., a former editor at The Athletic and professor at Loyola University New Orleans, who said he wouldn't speak with Brennan for her book even though she reached out. The way she's covering Caitlin Clark, you're asking, is she Caitlin Clark's PR agent? Lee is a former editor at The Post. The WNBA has long had a fraught relationship with reporters. Last year, several New York Liberty players were fined for not talking with reporters after the finals, and the league has shut off reporters' access to locker rooms.